Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this May the 8th, 2023. I'm hoping everybody's having a great Monday out there so far. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Okay. In today's video, we're going to talk about the watches warning advisory map across the lower 48. Also, we're going to take a look at the weather radar across the nation. Also, we're going to take a look at the radar here in Columbia, South Carolina. Also, we're going to take a look at the Storm Prediction Center outlook for today, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Okay. If you're a new viewer, have not subscribed to my channel, smash that subscribe button and you're in. You get my daily forecast twice a day. If you love weather forecast content, don't hesitate about smashing that subscribe button. Smash it and get them numbers climbing for me. I greatly appreciate it. Like these videos and share these videos, and let's get the show on the road here. We got some special weather statements over portions of Vermont, New Hampshire, and also up into Maine. Also, we got a few flood advisories over a portion of Tennessee. Flood watch over a portion of a county in Illinois. Also, we still got them river flooding along the Illinois-Missouri border. Also up here in the Montana and also North Dakota's border as well, and also in South Dakota and North Dakota. Got some hydro issues over central and eastern Montana. Also got some flood advisories over portions of northern Washington State, eastern Oregon, also over portion of central Idaho and also southeast Idaho. Got a few flood watches there as well. Got a few hydro issues for a few counties there in portions of Wyoming. We got some wind advisories over a portion of Nevada. Got a few river flood warnings also in effect for Nevada as well. Got a pocket of frost advisory over northern California. Got some red flag warnings over southern Colorado and northeast Colorado. Some fire weather watches possibly over here in portions of New Mexico as well. The rest of the United States looks pretty quiet at this time. Okay. Let's take a look at the radar across the nation here. As you can see, we got some shower activity over portions of southern Canada, southeast Canada that is. Also over here around Michigan, also into Wisconsin, going into Michigan as well. Also over here in portions of Indiana, back down into Kentucky, Tennessee. Got a few scattered showers here developing in South Carolina and North Carolina as well. Also down here in southern Alabama, southern Mississippi, and southeast, central, and southern Louisiana. Also eastern Texas. Got some in the Gulf of Mexico there as well. Also over here in portions of Mexico. Got some shower and thunderstorm activity over portions of southern Canada, and also over portions of North and South Dakota, Montana, back over to Washington State, Oregon, Idaho, portions of Nevada, also northern Utah and northern California. Also getting some snow showers also mixed in with the rain over northern California, southern Oregon, and also a little bit over in Washington State and Idaho as well. Let's see, Guam got a few showers on the southeast side of around the island, and Puerto Rico got a few scattered showers on the island as well. Alright, let's take a look at our radar view here in Columbia, South Carolina. We got scattered shower and thunderstorms starting to develop along the south of I-26 there and south of Newberry, and also back to Greenwood, north of I-20 along Augusta to Aiken, back into the Columbia metropolitan area, back towards the Sumter area. Camden also getting a few showers developing there as well. Expect this activity to continue through the afternoon, developing pretty much in this general area here and moving off to the east-southeast, but cannot rule out some thunderstorm shower activity possibly up in the upstate and the northern Midlands of South Carolina later on this afternoon as well. Alright, let's move on to the Storm Prediction Center outlook for today. As you can see, we have a general thunderstorm extending from the east coast, from near Washington, D.C. through the Carolinas, back into Louisiana, to Texas, through portion of Minnesota, and also back into portion of Wisconsin, Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, all the way back into portions of Kansas and Nebraska, all the way back over to Washington and Oregon states, and northern California, northern Nevada, northern Utah, and much of Colorado. We got a marginal risk over southeast South Dakota, northeast Nebraska, and also much of Iowa and southern Minnesota. Also over here in portion of Illinois and Indiana, Ohio, all the way back to West Virginia through Kentucky, West Virginia, and also east through Tennessee, northern Alabama, northern Mississippi, western Mississippi, back down into Texas as well. Got a slight risk over southern Texas. Also got a slight risk also over portions of northern Arkansas through western Tennessee, Kentucky, back up to portions of southwest Ohio, southern Indiana, back through southern Illinois, and also back into Missouri. And if anybody in the slight risk area, this includes Indianapolis, Indiana, Nashville, Tennessee, St. Louis, Missouri, Cincinnati, Ohio, and Louisville, Kentucky. Also, a marginal risk includes Houston, Texas, San Antonio, Texas, Columbus, Ohio, Memphis, Tennessee, and Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Let's take a look at the tornado probability for today. As you can see, we got 2% over southern Minnesota and northern Iowa, and also back into Missouri, also back into portions of southwest Ohio and central and southern Indiana, southeast Illinois, and also into northwestern portions of Kentucky. This includes the area of Indianapolis, Indiana, Columbus, Ohio, St. Louis, Missouri, Cincinnati, Ohio, and Louisville, Kentucky. Let's take a look at the wind probability. We have 5% in the Browns, extending from Texas all the way to Ohio and West Virginia and the surrounding areas. 15% down in southern Texas. Also over here in portion of southern Missouri, back in the portion of southern Ohio through Kentucky and Tennessee, Indiana and Illinois and Missouri. The 5% does include Houston, Texas, San Antonio, Texas, Indianapolis, Indiana, Columbus, Ohio, Memphis, Tennessee. 15% include Nashville, Tennessee, Cincinnati, Ohio, Louisville, Kentucky, Fayetteville, Kentucky, and Laredo, Texas. Let's take a look at the hail probability. We have a 5% extended from Texas all the way back to, once again, the Ohio and West Virginia, Tennessee, Kentucky areas, through Missouri, Illinois, back down into portions of northern Louisiana, also over here in southern Minnesota, South Dakota, and also portions of Iowa and northeast Nebraska. If you're in, and we have a significant severe weather hail threat here over Iowa and into portion of Illinois. We have a 15%, like I say, from Missouri all the way into southwest Ohio. Yep, and also down into southern portions of Texas. Weather will be Springfield, Missouri, Belleville, Illinois, Oakville, Missouri, Cape Girardeau, Missouri, East St. Louis, Illinois. Also in the 15%, this includes Indianapolis, Indiana, St. Louis, Missouri, Cincinnati, Ohio, Louisville, Kentucky, Lexington, Fayetteville, Kentucky. And the 5%, this includes Houston, Texas, San Antonio, Texas, Columbus, Ohio, Memphis, Tennessee, and Oklahoma. 2 outlook. And here it is. We got a general thunderstorm from portion of Washington, D.C., back through the Carolinas, Georgia, all the way down to Texas, all the way back into portions of Wyoming, Colorado, back into Montana, all the way back into portion of Northern California, and also back into Washington State. We have a marginal risk over eastern Wyoming, southern South Dakota, western Nebraska, through northeast Colorado, through Kansas, back down into portions of Arkansas, southwest Missouri, also back into portions of Mississippi, all the way back down into Texas. We have a slight risk also over Texas and southern Kansas, and also in Oklahoma. We have a marginal risk over here in South Carolina through North Carolina back into Virginia. Slight risk in the Outer Banks of North Carolina back down toward the Raleigh area. And if anybody in the slight risk area, this includes Tuscaloosa, Oklahoma, Wilmington, North Carolina, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, Edmond, Oklahoma, Greenville, North Carolina. Marginal risk, this includes Memphis, Tennessee, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Virginia Beach, Virginia, Wichita, Kansas, and also Raleigh, North Carolina. Let's take a look at the tornado probability for your Tuesday. We have a 2% over here in portion of western Kansas, through eastern Colorado, through central and southern Kansas, back into south. Excuse me, my computer refreshing this information. And if you're in the slight risk area, this includes Tuscaloosa, Oklahoma, Wilmington, North Carolina, Broken Arrow, Edmond, Oklahoma, Greenville, North Carolina. Marginal risk include Memphis, Tennessee, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Virginia Beach, Virginia, Wichita, Kansas, and Raleigh, North Carolina. The tornado probability, like I said, that's over here in Texas. And if you're in that area, this includes Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Tuscaloosa, Oklahoma, Wichita, Kansas, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, and Edmond, Oklahoma. Let's take a look at the wind probability. We have a 5% over here in the Carolinas and Virginia, 15% over eastern North Carolina. Also, we have a 5% over northern Mississippi through Arkansas, back in the Kansas, also back into Colorado, back in the portions southwestern portions of South Dakota, western Nebraska, and eastern Wyoming, and down into Texas. We have a 15% over Texas, Oklahoma, and portions of southern Kansas. And if you're in the 15%, this includes Tuscaloosa, Oklahoma, Wilmington, North Carolina, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, Edmond, Oklahoma, and Greenville, North Carolina. And the 5% include Memphis, Tennessee, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Virginia Beach, Virginia, Wichita, Kansas, and Raleigh, North Carolina. And let's take a look at the hail probability for Tuesday. 5% over the Carolinas and Virginia. Also back in the northern portion of Mississippi, Arkansas, back over to portion of western portion of South Dakota, eastern Wyoming, and also eastern Colorado as well. Back in the Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. 15% in Texas and Oklahoma, and portion of southern Kansas. 15. Got a high risk of large hail in the slashed area there. And the significant severe hail will be in Oklahoma, Woodward, Oklahoma, and Elk City, Oklahoma. And the 15th includes Tuscaloosa, Oklahoma, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, Edmond, Oklahoma, Fayetteville, Arkansas, Springdale, Arkansas. The 5% include Memphis, Tennessee, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Virginia Beach, Virginia, Wichita, Kansas, and Raleigh, North Carolina. Alright, let's talk about we got general thunderstorms from the Carolinas, like I say, Washington D.C. to the Carolinas, back to Texas, all the way back to Wyoming, and also back over to northern California, and also into portions of Missouri. Washington State, Idaho, Montana, back over to portions of North and South Dakota, Wisconsin, also into Minnesota and Iowa as well. We got a marginal risk in portions of South Dakota, back through Wyoming, and also into Nebraska. Also much of Kansas, much of Oklahoma, central and western Texas, and also eastern Colorado. We have a slight risk for portions of Kansas, also back into Colorado, and also Wyoming. And the marginal risk, this includes Denver, Colorado, Colorado Springs, Colorado, Wichita, Kansas, Aurora, Colorado, and Lubbock, Texas. And a slight risk includes Fort Collins, Colorado, Greeley, Colorado, Longmont, Colorado, Loveland, Colorado, and Cheyenne, Wyoming. And let's take a look at the probability. We have 5% in brown from Texas all the way to South Dakota, including portion of Nebraska, also into Kansas, Oklahoma, and also over here in portions of Colorado and Wyoming as well. 15%. Still include Kansas over to Colorado and Wyoming. 5%. This includes Denver, Colorado, Colorado Springs, Colorado, Wichita, Kansas, Lubbock, Texas, and Amarillo, Texas. Also, the 15% include Aurora, Colorado, Fort Collins, Colorado, Thornton, Colorado, Greeley, Colorado, and Longmont, Colorado. Okay, now let's take a look at day 4, because we do have some video down here. On day 4 here, we have a, let me click on day 4, here we go. Alright, we got a 15%, and that means a slight risk for Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, and also eastern Colorado. And if you're in the 15%, this includes Garden City, Kansas, Dodge City, Kansas, Liberal, Kansas, Pampa, Texas, and Boulder, Texas as well, and surrounding vicinity. Alrighty. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. I hope everybody has a great Monday. I hope everybody continues to stay safe and well. Consider subscribing. Love to have you. Like these videos, share these videos, and we'll catch you back in the next one.